So let's go over to the PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S, and we'll roll the PS5 scalpers into it as well. Because it all kind of goes together with sales. So this is from VG Charts, and VG Charts to me they're usually marked as a rumor because they're questionable as it is.
I
But
love looking up this website. They're a riot.
They are. Yeah.
VG Chart says that the PS5 2.1 million to 2.5 million units have already sold for the PS5. About 1.3 million, I believe, for the Xbox Series X and Series S. And even though there's that many out there, apparently Sony's still looking to do between 4 and 5 million before the end of the year total. So there's a good chance, Scott, that by the end of the year, there could be just more in stock overall. Because I was surprised that MVG got an email from a PlayStation 5 scalper, right, MVG?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got a reseller sent me an email saying, how much do you charge for a 10-second ad spot in a video? And I was like, what? And it just makes me wonder, that the longer that these resellers have stock on hand, the more difficult it's going to be for them to get rid of, right, at the price they want, because eventually they're going to have to start dropping that price until it's literally $4.99.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I think right now I don't want to say that the scalpers are scrambling, but they are definitely. I think they're feeling a little nervous about the amount of stock that they have, and they're trying to get rid of.
I feel like if I had 20 PS5s in my living room right now, I would be I'll be honest, I would be a little nervous, especially if I threw that stuff on credit cards and I'm like, this is gonna work great. A little bit. I feel a little like
people are showing a little bit more restraint than I thought they would show.
Yes.
It seems that way. People are like, well, screw you. Like, it's getting to the point where it's getting, people are like, no, screw that. Like, don't buy from them,
Yeah, it's a tight year for everyone. It's been a tight year for everyone. So like even paying 500, you're like, okay, 500 is a lot, but I want this thing. So you see people going 1,000, 2,000 for these consoles. They're like, no.
Let me pull up the response from the Scalper group.
Plus, there's barely any games out there anyway.
Go ahead.
Jordan just said what I was going to say. There is really no compelling reason right now to buy a next gen system. Okay, I get it. It's the new toy that everyone wants. It's got some really cool new tech. But there's really no reason to get a next gen system if you're just an average consumer that wants to play video games. If you want to play Madden, if you want to play FIFA, you want to play Fortnite, you want to play Minecraft, you can do all that with what you already have. So, I think that is a big factor in all this as well. Not to mention the year that we've had.
So,
expensive.
Scott, you spotted some stuff on eBay.
Yeah,
I was a little confused about the top one.
It's like a $200 bid on a picture of a PS5. I like that.
So they took a
Silly.
picture. They took a picture of the PS5.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sell that, and people are actually bidding it. That's not just a set price. Like, people bid up to $260 on it. Looks like.
Isn't it like the one where people like genuinely think it's a PS5,
Yes.
but it's just the picture? Yeah.
This is like the oldest eBay trick in the book, and I'm surprised people still fall for this.
Yeah, for
It
real.
is, yeah.
Yep. Free priority shipping on it too.
Surprised I'm surprised they allow this. I'm surprised eBay allows like that type of
I remember easily get taken down.
I remember when
it's that the fact that they classified it in the title as a photo.
I remember one back
it's labeled properly.
I remember one back from the 360 area where someone just took the display box and sold it online.
Yeah.
And they got like $400 for it.
Well, and I remember when the Xbox One and PS4 were selling out a lot, and I remember somebody bought a box and it said Xbox box, and somebody paid like $250 for it.
Yikes.
I was like, well,
Xbox box. I like it.
I was like, what? No lies detected.
What do you think is what do you think they should do to combat scalping? Because like so many people say to Sony and Microsoft and all these retailers, like, oh, you need to do stuff to like stop these scalpers. But like, since there's no stock in stores, like available in stores, like, is there any real recommendation of what they should do?
Well, I'll say this just because I think that reselling is fine. I think all of us have resold something at some point, right? I think the problem is the bots that get the unfair advantage. If somebody buys 4 PlayStations and they did it themselves, they pulled the work, they're allowed to resell it. But if they're using bots to swoop up like multiple PlayStations all at once before somebody else has a chance. I think that's the biggest problem that they got to fix, not somebody actually legitimately pulling the work themselves. I think that for me, that's the major issue that I have is bots ruining it and bogging up systems and instantaneously getting multiple PlayStations. Like one guy said, "Oh, I got 30 PlayStations from bots." Like, dude, screw that. Like you can't do that normally. Now, if you bought them yourself, okay, cool, but you did it. You used the bot.
I love that one of their answers was, "Let's just split it up throughout a day." It's like, what's that solving? That's just going to make the bot have to do it more than once. Like that's not.
I think it's the bots, but I also think some of these retail websites need to be smarter about how they go through the transaction and the checkout process, right? Because with a bot, you can just sit there and just basically run the script over and over and over again and just buy up as much stock as you can. But, if they had some type of, this is in your cart for X number of minutes and it's yours, check out type of thing. Like if you're ordering tickets on Ticketmaster, just something a little more human that has a human element to it, which kind of doesn't really work with a bot. That would really go a long way, I think, to selling stock.
Wasn't one of the
was handled correctly?
Wasn't one of the foreign systems to have it be a lottery system where you had to sign up beforehand and then it picked the people who were allowed to buy it?
That's not a bad idea. At least that's something.
Could they just make it where it identifies?
Procrastinators.
Do you think it could identify a housing address and just finds out why are there 10 going to one place?
When Nvidia's 3080 came out, they said they noticed that and got rid of a ton of orders based on that.
I never saw the 3080 go on sale.
Yeah,
neither did I.
Neither did I.
Immediately.
Couldn't they do like IP address as well though?
You'd think, but I feel like they probably mix the bots with VPNs.
The moment they add that, the VPNs come into play. Yeah.
That's true.
I guess Sony's doing like the Sony Direct thingy where it's like PSN, so that's one way of of doing it. If you can, so like somebody in the chat mentioned that, so
that might be the way to go now. Is probably like you're saying, OJ, that PlayStation Direct site, Scott, might be the way to go. When they open it up, you just sit in line for a little bit.
Coles Direct.
Do it at Coles.
It's a pair of shorts. You can order some shorts and you can get yourself the.
I like Kohl's now. I used to hate it as a kid.
Now you got 180 in Kohl's cash.
Yeah, I got some good socks here. Midnight Club on 360.
It's the last.
It's
the last store that exists in Ohio. You have to support it.
Yeah. Usually, like me and my friends are like, "Oh, what do we want to do tonight? Let's go to Kohl's."
Yeah, I just had to go to Ohio. And when I went there, it said, "Welcome to Ohio. We have one Kohl's."
So did you guys see one of the PlayStation 5 scalping groups came into the spotlight a bit, and they had a response after advertising on Facebook. So they would advertise their service on Facebook as well, saying, "If you pay us a subscription fee, we'll make sure you guys get PS5s, and you'll be able to flip them very quickly." And their response was kind of their response was kind of strange because they have apparently been able to secure 3,500 PlayStation 5s as their group, and apparently they've been selling through them, but they said lots of our community have been furloughed, made redundant, or at some form of disadvantage due to the pandemic. These people have managed to cover their bills, put food on the table, and supply Christmas presents to their children. Maybe unfortunate that a child won't wake up to a PS5 this Christmas, but another child may have woken up to nothing.
I respect. Hold on. I respect the hustle, but to OJ's point, if it was a human that was just buying them up, I'd be fine with it. But if it's a frickin' computer program, a script that's running, that's a different thing.
Well,
I agree with that.
They go on to say that they did not use bots at all.
Bullshit.
Despite saying in a previous interview that
100 people sitting there.
Bullshit.
They had 3,500 PS5s by hand.
By hand.
There was also a picture inside that somebody had put in one of the articles of their thing, and they in the description at one point of their group, you had to pay $40 to enter the group, and then once you're in the group, they showed you how to set stuff up, and one of the things was here's where you get bots and stuff. So it's like that's obviously what this is.
That's ridiculous for them to even.
It sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
It basically is. So yes,
that's ridiculous for them to even act like they did that. There's no way that you can get 3,500 PlayStations by hand by actual. No way.
No, it's impossible. Most people couldn't get one.
Well, especially all those pictures. Did y'all see there was the great tweet? This guy tweeted a picture of 50 PlayStation 5s and it said, "Stay mad, bitches, $1,000 each."
So badass.
Oh, I know. Well, and then somebody found out, oh, this guy is such and such. I know where he lives. So somebody doxed him, and then somebody replied, "Oh, I live up the street, and I'm a burglar." And the final said, "Final update: he has been robbed." Like the guy did rob him for 50 PlayStation 5.
It's like the world just writes itself at this point.
Yeah, karma, baby.
Oh no! So their response was that all right. So I'm confused how if they really did have people in their community that were furloughed, made redundant, any of that stuff. If that is a strange group of people to be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on PlayStation 5s. Then so that's the one that threw me off a bit. I was a little confused on that one.
I mean, they might be right, like with some of the people, and I get that. But robbing somebody else's happiness to feed your own that's not right. You know, like. You can't say, "Oh, well, I'm going to do this because I'm going to make myself happy or my kids or whatever." Then somebody else has an issue too. That just because, like, you can't rob somebody else's happiness using nefarious means and then justify it by saying, "Well, I got to do what I got to do." I mean, everybody has to do what they got to do, right? That doesn't mean you can do stuff. That doesn't mean you can do stuff like that, right? That doesn't justify you doing that, in my opinion, at least, like using bots and that type of stuff. Like I said, if you did it normally, that's cool.
Well, the idea here was to take
like all of these PS5s, you know, $500, $400 each, you know, and like you're taking a risk by buying them like that. So these people obviously have money that they can spend on these PS5s. So they have money that they can spend towards their families, but they're just taking a risk doing all that. So
that's just weird. It's like you may have been furloughed, but if you had $20,000 in the bank to buy these 50 PlayStation 5s or whatever, it's like you weren't exactly trying to pay your bills
unless they convinced them to put it on credit cards. And let's say Sony does flood the market and then they're stuck with like 30 PS5s in their living room or something.
Oh, that's just interest.
Like,
good.
Like they're taking your dollar risk. Like in 2 months, they might be like completely just all over the place. So why would you buy? Why would you buy? Especially because like you look at all the PS5 games available. What, like the only exclusive games are Demon's Souls and Godfall? Demon's Souls is a game that already existed before. Godfall is Godfall. You know,
I just want the better looking version of Sackboy, okay?
You're right.
It actually looks identical on the PS4, to be honest. But
I guess Astro's Playroom is sell it on that. Yeah, if they had like
spend $900 for an hour of enjoyment, you know?
if they had like their like Gran Turismo or Ratchet ready to go, I think Gran Turismo would have got some people in for that if it was PS5 only. But like Ratchet, or if Miles Morales was PS5 only.
Honestly,
that isn't supposed to. I'm not trying to like completely act like the launch was bad. I think the launch was pretty okay, just because like there was stuff to play, and like obviously like the two big Sony published games that were also like, you know, PS4 cross-gen. But it's also like I kind of feel like I could play Sackboy and Miles Morales right now, but I'm like I'll wait till I get a PS5, you know, kind of thing. So it's just like it doesn't really take away. It takes away a little bit of the excitement, but not a ton. But it's just supposed to be kind of like why would you really jump right now? Like why would you spend $1,000 or even more to buy it right now when in 2 months, you know, it might be readily available?
Because I want to be cool like everyone else.
Believe it is called Keeping Up with the Joneses.
The problem you run into is the holiday pressure for the parents. That's got to be the.
There was like a billion Switch Lights at the Best Buy I went to. You can get that. Nobody wants a Switch Lite right now.
All I see are Switch Lights.
Everyone wants the regular Switch.
Yeah,
because it's just like, even if you only want to play the Switch in handheld mode, I feel like a lot of people would be like, well, I'll just spend $100 more, so then I don't have any regrets. Because if you just get the Switch Lite, then if you want to play it on the TV, then you're kind of boned.
I will say,
unless you get the TV only Switch that's coming out first half of next year.
Ooh, I mainly don't say
TV
that.
It was a huge success. So
hey, I love my PlayStation TV. Unironically,
what were you saying, Click?
I have a PlayStation TV. That's all I'm willing to say.
No, I was gonna say I love my Switch Lite, but there's specific games I will play on that. There are ones that I do not care to like see on a bigger screen or actually have Rumble for. So
the Switch Lite.
That's all I'm gonna play.
The Switch Lite feels a million times better. The Switch Lite feels a million times better than the regular Switch. It's just that everything's on my regular Switch, so I'm kind of like.
Well, yeah, but I think we're in a special case. You know what I mean? Versus like a lot of people who might not necessarily, have like.
I like the buttons.
Games.
I'm a normal person who owns 4 Wii U's. It's just fine.
And 4 Switches.
I am the 99%. I am mainstream.
I have half the number of Wii U. I've got 2 Wii U's. I got a Japanese Wii U and a regular
Wii U.
Oh, is that the yellow Switch?
I
have one Wii U.
Yellow Wii U box down there.
And I have a countdown display clock for a Wii U. That's about it.
I like the Switch Lite
A
still.
European Wii U.
Nice.
There's
region locked
nice.
because it was region locked, so you got to make sure that you have the different regions. Good.
Scott, I'm going to show you how to mod
yeah.
yours so you can just have region-free games on one. You don't need.
No,
3 of them.
I want it to be. I want it to be.
You got to do it officially, MDG.
I have to do it officially.
Yes.
And one of those Wii uses Japanese, so I can play my Japanese games. As in,
Yeah, but if you modify it, you can play GameCube games on it.
Yep.
I refuse to mod
like the
anything.
Series X then.
Okay, if you want to get
I refuse to mod anything. I want to waste my money.
He wanted to get a PS5 from someone else, so
He's dedicated to keep Coles in business. So he goes there every day. He goes, "Hey, can I pay you guys and you give me a Japanese Wii U?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure, we'll say
that's the weird thing. That's the other weird thing Cole sells is very region-specific Wii U's and Midnight Club on 360.
just right by the checkout counter.
Dub edition?
I got some
Midnight
close.
Club Dub edition?
Yeah, Midnight Club. Yeah.
Midnight Club LA.
PS2?
It's Midnight Club LA.
They have Midnight Club LA on the 360. Dub edition was Midnight Club 3.
Platinum Hits version. The Platinum Hits edition. It's always at Kohl's.
Yeah, it's always at my Walmart.
Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition on the PSP is the one I put the most time into.
Same.
I played
drove
LA
the
a lot
Jetta.
on the 360.